Rock and roll. All right, party time.
Godzilla said that I should learn to fight my own battles, no.
Godzilla says I have to learn to fight my own battles, you know. I'm General Howitzer. This is the Big Monster Briefing Room. Let me bring up my co-host and my able-bodied assistant, Major Millie Hazzard.
Good night, General. I'm here. It's the middle of the night. Of course, I'm at the lock. You know, I'm tracking down those new photos of the Loch Ness Monster that was just released. We got to investigate. So I'm up here in the middle of the night. It's very cold. I understand that the United States is sweltering right now. But, you know, over here across the pond or across the lock, as it were, you know, it's freezing over here near the lock. There's a lot of crazy vibes going on, but I haven't gotten any pictures yet. But out of the corner of my eye, I wanted to let you know, I did see some movement under the water. I'm not really sure what it was. Next time, I'm going to have the camera ready on time, people.
Yeah, and the sonar, you know.
We also have sonar set up, but those results are not in yet.
Good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
A lot of luck.
A monster-sized lock. I'll take it.
There you
look
go.
At the lock. Look at the lock. And it says, and my headline says, look at
better.
Loch Ness, because I'm a lock looker now.
Just to see Bigfoot on the Loch Ness Monster's back, flipping you off, going, hey!
Most likely that's what's going to happen, because these zoological wonders, they don't want to be found. Believe you me, they like looking in the background in the shadows, but that's why we're here, to flesh them out, and flesh them out too, no matter how you say it. Flesh it out, flush it out. Either way, we get the big monsters.
Are you taking something to stay awake?
I'm taking a lot of no-dos. I got to be honest with you. There's a lot of no-dos, you know, over here. They got the Red Bull too. They got different stuff. But I got to be awake because they say the monster becomes more active after hours. So even if we weren't doing the show today, I'd have to be up at night.
That's what they say.
That's what they say, because he's a lurker. He doesn't want anyone to know about him.
In Scottish, that's what they say.
Well, I wanted to tell you, and I wanted to do a report where I spoke to a fisherman earlier today, and I did an investigation with him. And he told me, in this beautiful Scottish brogue, he said, the fish come out of that loch jet black, and there's no explanation for it. All the fish in that loch are black. He said they just keep going out, and he showed me in his boat. He said there's something not right about that loch.
Oil slick. You know, is there a Scottish tanker anywhere close by?
I don't know, but that's a good question, General. You're onto something, because, you know, it is open to the sea in one little area. So anything that's in the open sea can end up in Loch Ness. So you're really trying to scour across the entire world, which is 70% water.
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I think I'm ready for Major Havoc or Sergeant Major Havoc.
All right, I'll report more later as I get investigation.
Let's go ahead and bring him up.
Sergeant Havoc is here. Oh, he's so tired. I forgot to tell everyone he
forgot to take the
predator, you know?
What? Oh, are we on? Are we on finally?
Yes, Sergeant, we're here. We know you're tired. Sorry,
you kind of dozed off.
It just kind of goes on and on and on.
I kind of dozed off there.
Yeah, you need some no-dos now.
Waiting for Yep.
And the guy Rory Pellin needs no-dos when he's on No Icing with Dritta.
Yep.
Which is coming up, incidentally, directly after the show. You got to tune in.
Yeah, I watch it. It comes on right after the show, so I watch it. Well, I got to plug my camera or my. Yeah, it's gonna die soon. All right. So speaking of black, slithery, creepy things, our film is Night of the Creeps, which is a Fred Decker film.
Yep.
Fred Decker did Monster Squad, which we've done on this show.
Yep.
And it's an interesting homage to a lot of different types of movies. The Animal House for fraternity sorority movies. I knew I could say it if I just thought. Use Mr. Lips and Mr. Tongue. It's also homage to zombie movies. It's a little space movie alien kind of thing with the 1950s kind of thing going on in the beginning. So let's go ahead and watch it. TriStar Pictures did this film, which is a surprise. They usually don't do this kind of movie. Again, we get the Night of the Creeps right out of the gate, and it's an alien thing. There's an alien running through a spaceship with a canister full of these black slithery eely kind of baby eel kind of things, and they got butt heads, and they don't wear clothes.
Naked aliens.
Naked aliens.
Yep.
Not even ties and hats. Even Boo Boo and Yogi wore ties and hats.
Yeah. It kind of looks like that weirdo, that Ginger Dead feller.
You think he looks like the Ginger Dead Man?
He looks kind of like the Ginger Dead Man. Yep.
Yeah, but he doesn't sound like Gary Busey though, man.
Nope.
You know, he just turned 80. Gary Busey just turned 80, man.
Wow.
So he jettisons this tube full of these slithery things out of the ship, and it lands, of course, in Earth in 1959. Yep. And we know that because there's a credit that says Sorority Row, 1959.
Yep. And there was no color back then.
And there was no color back then.
Yeah,
a friend of mine, Steve Eric, said in the Wizard of Oz, when they do the Oklahoma scenes, that's true to life because that's what Oklahoma really looks like.
Well, I thought it was in Kansas. We ain't in Kansas no more. Oklahoma, same way.
What? Did I say Oklahoma? I'm sorry, Kansas.
Yep. Well, man. Oklahoma, Kansas.
Wow. I gotta retire. I really gotta retire. I mean, really retire. I'm retired, but I'm not retired. You know what I mean? All right. So, beautiful blonde sorority girl. She's got her guy waiting downstairs. He's throwing pebbles at the window. Yep. A little homage to movies that have guys with pebbles that they throw at the windows. And then they go to the makeout point, and a police officer comes, and it turns out to be her ex-boyfriend. Awkward.
Yep. Go home, girl. Go home.
Go home.
Get your ass home.
And then they see the tube fly out of the sky. Now, how that thing, how it actually survived re-entry, being as small as it was, that takes a little, suspension of belief, I guess. I mean, the thing is hot, but it's pristine. So, and it looks like the size of an asteroid when it comes down. So he goes, "Hey, let's check it out." He's going to go check it out.
That's what guys do.
He leaves her in the car right on the side of the road there. They're very trusting in 1959. And she's listening to the radio, and she hears a story about a mass murderer who escaped from an insane asylum, and he's got a hatchet. And he kills people with an axe. And she looks, it says he's on Route 66 next to blah, blah, blah. And the camera pans, and there's a sign that says that she's exactly where they say he's supposed to be. And a Route 66 sign right next to it. How convenient.
Corman University. Yeah. Like, yep, right there. Right where the murderer is.
So he's out there and he sees where the thing has landed. He's going to go check it out. And sure enough, the guy with the hook hand shows up. Now the guy with the axe shows up. The guy who's checking out the alien thing, he gets a slimy thing in his mouth. I don't know how it gets out of the case and it happens so fast. It's like it makes its way through the glass or something.
Yeah, the glass breaks. You know, just
does it?
Yeah, it cracks and the thing jumps out.
But all the rest of them are in there.
Kind of like the face hugger in Alien. You know?
They don't get out.
Yeah, they all get out and just
So,
but he gets one in the face.
He gets one right in the mouth.
Gets it in the mouth, right in the mush.
Yeah, and that's how they get in through your mouth, and then they go into your brain, and they lay eggs. And you're a zombie. You're walking around while you're laying eggs.
Yep.
And she got axed, by the way.
Like, yep. Kind of like spiders. Ain't that right, Millie? Spiders.
They explode out of your brain and make more. Then we go to 1986.
You don't want to tell me about the, we got different spiders over here on the lock. I don't even want to think about it right now.
They got Black Widows in Scotland.
Oh, we got Black Widows over here. We got unidentifiable things. They got poisonous ones even. That's what people are telling me.
Okay. So it's 1986 now. And again, we're back in Sorority Row. And our two heroes, a couple of nerds. This is like Revenge of the Nerds, too.
Yeah.
Little homage to Revenge of the Nerds. They're the ones that end up with the hot babes at the end of the movie. Well, one of them. I like the fact that he looks like Danny Elfman. I don't know why, but he does.
Yeah,
he looks like He looks like a young Danny Elfman. And there is a hot babe sorority chick that he's hot for, that he's interested in. So he goes to the party. Somehow gets in to the beta party. Betas are better. And his friend is the Mr. Weisenheimer, the guy that cracks the jokes. Yeah. And he goes over to the girl because he knows his friend wants to date her. He says, I'm going to find out her name and find out if she's with anybody. And he goes over to her, and she's with this kind of moose-like character and stupid guy, and he gets him to go away to a bogus phone call. And while he's doing that, he's telling the girl about his friend who looks like Danny Elfman. That's what he was going to be called this whole episode. The guy that looks like Danny Elfman. Now, Danny. Obviously, William Zabka wasn't available for this. So Central Casting sent the next best thing.
Yep. I think there's a category,
blonde sorority
douchebag. Yeah, here you go.
Blonde sorority douchebag. Hey, Sam. Every time I hear the word douchebag, I think about Supernatural and the Winchester. Sam, we gang monsters. We deal with douchebags. All right. Anyway, it turns out that he's the boyfriend. He's the real boyfriend of her. The plot thickens. Now, how they got David Paymer in this, he's a good friend of Billy Crystal's. I guess this was before his career really took off. I thought his career took off in the early 80s, but he plays a scientist who's at the morgue, and there's a special science division of the morgue that's watching over the body of the guy from 1959 who ate the slimy thing. And the two guys sneak in. They are going to join the fraternity. And the fraternity boys say you got to bring a dead body and put it in front of the Alpha House or whatever, So they're all about it. They're saying they're going to do that. They've joined the fraternity. They'll get a chance with the hot girl. That's what Danny Elfman thinks.
Yeah.
So look at him. He looks just like Danny Elfman when he was young.
He does. Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. All right. So they come into a TV set. This looks like a set from a TV show, like Matthew Starr or something. Anyway,
probably was.
It's a leftover TV set from Quantum Leap. So, and they see the 1959 guy, and he's all frozen. He's cryogenically frozen. And, well, that's cool. And they decide to unfreeze him and take his body. Because he's wearing like a kind of a pantyhose thing so that you can't see his weenie, his wanker. Weenie. Should I say weenie or wanker? Which is better?
Can we call it a tallywhacker?
For our regular fans, I'm going to say weenie, and for our British fans over the lock, let's say wanker. Yep. Let's say wanker, okay? What a wanker. So David Paymer he forgot the password. He goes downstairs to the basement phone to call his friend and get the password. He's finally coming back to where the lab is, or maybe he went upstairs. I don't know.
He went upstairs.
I think so. Yeah, I got turned around there. Okay, so they're lugging this guy's body around, and he moves because he's a zombie now. He's got that thing in his head, so he moves, and it scares the crap out of him. They run past David Paymer. I'm going to use the actor's name. They run right past him, and it's amazing how fast the other guy is running because he's on like they're not crutches, but you know he's handicapped.
Yeah.
So he runs very fast when he's got a dead guy moving close to him. So they knock David Paymer over. So
you crazy kids.
Jeez. So David Paymer goes in there and gets one of the slimy things in his mouth from the zombie guy. They go back to their dorm room, and they have one of those fuck you moments. That's exactly what it is, a fuck you scene. One guy's whining and pissing and moaning, and the other guy's like, well, you know, fuck you. I did all of this shit for you, you know. And then they're okay again. They're like, are we okay, bro? Yeah, we're okay. That kind of thing. One of those scenes. Then we got our first glimpse of Tom Atkins, who's best known for his appearances in John Carpenter type films. Yeah. And he is the police guy from 1959, older now, much older. And he's having a dream about the girl, the blonde-haired girl, but now she's in an 80s swimsuit. And he flashes back to where she's been hacked up, and the killer is a zombie. And he wakes up. Why not? I'm okay with it. So his friend calls, wakes him up. His friend says, hey, you got to come down. You know, we got a dead body. And, you know, come on down. Yeah. So he goes down, and I guess that's his chief. I don't know.
I think it's his partner. Somebody
that works on the police force.
Yeah.
Some other guy that works on the police force that he talks with and shoots the shit with. And he's like, his catchphrase in this movie is "Throw me."
Throw me. Yep.
Throw me.
Yeah, that's his partner. And you know, the funny thing about this training film is almost all the characters, their names or last names are names of other directors of these other training films. Like his name's Cameron. His partner's name's Raimi. That's his last name. And
funny.
The girl, the hottie that everybody that Danny Elfman's after, her last name's Cronenberg. You know, it's just one of those
too funny
things that
I should have noticed.
Becker thought it was clever.
You know, I'm watching the zombies walk across the grass. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not good with names. So the kid is Danny Elfman to me. That's what he looks like. Cronenberg. All right, I'll call her Cronenberg from now on.
Actually, his last name's Romero.
Romero.
How obvious is that?
Wait a minute.
Chris Romero. That's Danny Elfman's character.
He's a redhead.
And he looks like Danny Elfman. Yep.
He looks like Danny Elfman.
Exactly.
And now I'm supposed to expect to, think that he's Spanish in some way. All right. So she comes back to the dormitory. Her boyfriend drops her off in a typical douchebag fraternity boy, I'm too busy, to hang out with you kind of move. And she goes back to, can we go back to that one slide there? When she comes back, the girl has a box of brains that she's taking to the basement. Okay. Somebody's putting their science project down in the basement. How convenient. There are brains down in the basement for these slithery things. These slithery things are making their way to the basement all through the movie.
What's in the bag? What's in the bag?
What are the odds? What are the odds? Only in a Fred Dekker film.
Yep.
All right. So she goes back to her room. We have a nice little nudity scene, and it's nice. And he's at her window. And his head explodes, and there's some of those slithery things sliding through the fire escape. And then they go right to the basement. I'm seeing a TikTok video thing that says Sandy D mentioned you in a comment. Anyway, you're doing a show on your phone. You got to watch every damn message that comes through as you're trying to do the show. Anyway, I digress. So Tom Atkins is on the scene. They show the kid's 1959 kid's body. His head is split open like a melon. It looks like an axe murder. And just so happens that the house across the street was built on top of where he buried the body of the axe killer. He killed him.
Yeah.
And he has a little flashback where he's, putting the body in a bag, dumping it in a hole, burying it. I think he buried it with the hatchet, with the axe, which was not smart. Because, they can come back.
Yeah, we find that out later.
In these types of movies, they can come back. So their big newspaper headline. And now, I don't get this. It says headless corpse. He's not headless. All right? His head is split open. Okay? He's not decapitated. He's not headless. So they got that wrong.
That's a college paper. What do you expect?
Is it?
Yep.
So the fraternity guys are all pissed off. They're really preppy too, by the way, these fraternity guys. They're not happy about the fact that the body ended up, what they think was the body, ended up in front of their fraternity house where all their girls are. And it traumatized them. And then it comes out in front of everybody that they were the ones that planned the stunt. So everybody knows now these guys. So in retaliation, our fraternity lead, the blonde-haired William Zabka guy, trips the cripple guy. Oh my God. He trips a cripple guy, a handicapped guy.
Yep.
Not nice.
Douchey McDouchebag there.
Douchey McDouchebag. So the girl is right there. She hears all of it. She sees all of it. She's like, it's over. She does a little, one of those little rolling finger things, which, I don't know if that's where that started. Maybe that's 1986. That's about the time that probably started.
Yep.
But
she probably started that.
Watching her do it is actually quite entertaining.
Best part of the movie.
She does a good job of it. So she hangs out with those guys because, again, she was traumatized. She wants to talk to somebody about what she saw. And then they bump into the partner. What's his name? Raimi?
Raimi. Yep.
So Raimi takes him to his partner,
Cameron.
And he's talking to them, and they've got an Asian janitor there.
Yep.
And they were screaming like bitches when they were running out, and he just thinks that's the funniest thing, and he's saying it over and over and over again, screaming like bitches.
Like banshees.
Yeah. Is it banshees? I thought it was bitches.
Banshees.
That's what I heard in my head. Bitches, screaming like little bitches.
Same difference.
So at the police morgue, the guy who lost one body, but they find Paymer. Paymer gets up off the table and walks out, and he's being, they're doing an autopsy on him. This is actually a particularly nasty makeup job.
Yeah.
So he's all opened up there, and nobody notices. Everybody's looking down or looking away, and they don't notice him walking, all gut open like that and naked. You'd think that would attract attention.
Yeah.
And that's when the Asian janitor guy gets a slithery thing in his mouth.
Wait, did he have the scissors in that last? I think there's maybe a little continuity.
You want to go back?
Yeah, can we go back? Can we go back a slide? Oh, he did. Yeah,
I think he's got him. Yeah.
Yeah, I see him now.
That's a big continuity flaw there. If that wasn't.
Yeah. No.
He's got him. He's got
him on there. Yep. Well, never mind.
I mean, it's cool. That's kind of a cool thing to do with a zombie walking.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the incubation period of these eggs in these people's brains sometimes is like a long time, and sometimes it's a very, very short time. Because the Asian guy's head splits open like right away. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So, okay. All right. So, what's her face? Cronenberg gets a call from her old boyfriend, and she said, "Sorry, I'm not interested." This girl downstairs is always opening the back door, and we get a cat scare. But the cat is like a zombie cat. So here's my thing. Later in the film, she becomes a zombie. Okay. Mm-hmm. Did the cat do a slithery thing into her mouth in this scene? And it just took a really long time for her to become a zombified? Or
no,
I think she got
when the frat boys break in.
Slithered her.
Yeah, well, maybe so.
But she's holding a zombie cat. All right. So that was kind of interesting, gnarly. So we get some more flashbacks from Cameron, right?
Yeah.
He's thinking about the football 1959 guy and the girl who's a cheerleader. And slithery things are all over the place. And she comes to the dorm room to see Danny Elfman. I am not calling him Romero.
It's Danny Elfman.
And he should be Elfman. He should be Danny Elfman.
Gonna write me a song later.
I'm just going to ask off the top of my head if you know if this girl has been in any other of these types of movies, because she looks really familiar to me.
Yeah, she's been in some other training films like this.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot, but yeah.
She's not the girl from Christine, is she?
No.
Okay. All right. Same type of wholesome look. Yeah. Okay, so the Asian guy goes in after the handicapped kid who needs a restroom right away. So I guess he goes to the morgue restroom. I don't know how they end up together, but anyway, he hears the Asian guy hit the floor after his head splits open. We know his head splits open because we just know. He opens the door, sure enough, the guy's head is split open, and there's these little slithery things all over the floor. Now he's able to burn one with a matchbook that he set on fire. So we know that they don't like fire, okay? But he gets the slithery thing in his mouth. Cameron goes and gets Danny Elfman.
Yep.
And they have a drink together, and he tells him his story and how he killed the guy and put him under the house. And they go to check the house. Or no. After he tells the story, we go to the house, which looks like the house from Halloween. Anyway, the babysitter house in Halloween. Anyway, and there's an old lady there and her dog. And they're watching a horror movie on TV.
They're watching Plan 9.
Plan 9 from Outer Space, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And the zombie guy comes up through the floor. So now, I don't know if she called the police. I don't know how the police got called on this, but yeah, they're heading for that house, and they're going after the killer, whoever he is.
Well, she's the house mother to the sorority, so somebody probably went and checked on her. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what they kept saying. Well, that's the house mother's building there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
Meanwhile,
a couple of other cops, are looking around for somebody who's suspicious, who's killing people with an axe. And sure enough, there's a zombie guy out there with an axe. So they call everybody, hey, come this way. We got him cornered on a no-through street. So Cameron goes, this movie is a fun one. Yes, Ruby.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. This could be an episode of Big Monster Briefing Room where I could have had Julio Morales, but he's kind of taken a break from these kind of things. I could have had Troy Moore because it's got an alien thing on it. There's a lot of, John Carpenter, Stephen King type stuff in this movie. I could have really more. And obviously we have you, Sergeant Major Havoc. Because it just seemed apropos to invite you to this movie. Is again so much homage to different kinds of films here.
Yep.
So, and the guy turns around, it's a zombie. It's obviously a zombie.
Kind of like his dream. See, they set it up early.
Everybody's freaking out.
Yep.
I'm happy you got Major Havoc. Yes.
Well, thank you, Ruby.
Sergeant Major Havoc.
Right. Sergeant Major. Well, Major's my first name.
So
anyway.
Head splits open, slithery things. They all see it. But again, the slithery things are so fast, you can't stop on them. You can't catch them,
Yep.
So now we're showing the girls getting ready for the formal dance, and the guys are getting ready too. And we're seeing the slithery things going all around the sidewalk and heading for the sorority house and all that.
Yep.
So, a lot of slithery thing action. Our Danny Elfman hero gets all dressed up, all decked out, and then he sees a message left by his friend and a recording. And the guy, as a zombie, is able to record a message that makes sense to his friend. Do you remember what his name was in the film?
JC.
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 That's it.
That's it. Well, it's supposed to be for John Carpenter.
Oh, John Carpenter. All right.
Yeah,
all right. All right. I understand.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So he tells him you can hurt him with fire, you can kill him with fire, but I'm done. They got into my brain. They're laying eggs in my brain. I can feel them. I'm going down into the basement, and I'm done. So Douchey McDouchebag is drunk now, and he goes to the sorority house because the girl's not going to the formal with him. And the little dog from the woman's house comes up, and he gets a slithery thing in the mouth.
Yep.
So he becomes a zombie. Now, the incubation period with him, very fast. Again, like the Asian guy, very fast. So Danny Elfman goes to see Carpenter. No, Cameron.
Cameron, yep.
Cameron. And Cameron is got the gas on. He turns it off because, it's time to fight zombies. So he turns the gas off. All right, now here we have a sequence where the dog goes, who's a zombie dog now, goes in front of the bus full of fraternity guys. I said sorority guys. Fraternity guys. Yeah. Look at the bus driver's reaction shot. What the hell is going on with his face?
I know. It's like got all bug-eyed.
he looks like Large Marge.
Like, yeah.
So anyway, he sees this little dog, and it's a zombie dog, and he crashes the bus. Okay. Meanwhile, our boys, our heroes, go to see Dick Miller, who's making a nice little cameo here. Again, a little homage to Joe Dante. Mm-hmm. You get the obligatory Dick Miller character. Hey, yep. You guys. And they want a flamethrower.
Yeah, Yeah, we just need to see your requisition form.
We just got to see a requisition.
We ain't got no requisition.
Well, you know what? I got a problem. There's no requisition. So they take one from him. The dog, because he's a zombie dog, he's just going to go in that bus and put slithery things in all those guys' heads.
Yep.
It's a given.
Yeah.
So here's the great scene where a girl answers the door, and she's such an airhead she doesn't even realize he's a zombie. And she goes,
like, Brad's here.
Brad's here.
Douchey McZombie now.
Douchey McZombie. And then we see the bus again, and the guy's getting up out of the bus.
That's a pretty good scene right here. All
zombified,
crawling out of the bus. Like, yep,
crashing through the windows. So we have this scene where again she's trying not to look at him because she's embarrassed. It's awkward, and she doesn't realize he's a zombie. And they sit down on the front steps, and he sits down with her. He doesn't try to kiss her or anything, but you can see the little zombie, the little slithery things coming out of his mouth.
Yeah,
they're dropping by his feet.
Oh.
So you know he's ready to just pop one right in her mouth. There is a series of movies by Charles Band called Puppet Master, the Puppet Master series, and there is a puppet who is a leech woman. And she spits these leeches out of you. And I guess this is a little homage to that, I think. Because I think those started before this did, like in 82 maybe, or 83. So he's clearly a zombie, but she's just not getting it. She's not seeing it. And Danny Elfman comes up and goes, "Get away from him! He's a zombie!" And she looks around and she almost gets a slithery thing in the mouth. Luckily, she's smart enough to react quickly, and she gets away from him. And he gets shot in the head, and his head explodes, and all the slithery things pop out. And then he's got the flamethrower. He flamethrows the whole thing so that the slithery things die. And that's good. That's a good thing.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody's going to miss Mr. Kick down a cripple.
Nope.
So, in a brilliant move by Fred Decker, he gives her the flamethrower. So she becomes, in movie history, a flamethrower zombie chick.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill zombies with a flamethrower. Cameron shows up, cigarette still in mouth, and he's like, "The good news is your dates are here. The bad news, they're zombies. They're dead.
They're dead.
They're dead." So the zombies start showing up, and she's still kind of stunned from the fact that, what just happened. But she goes to town on him. He shoots him in the head. She hits him with the flamethrower.
Yeah.
And the other girls are watching from the doorway. So the zombies start busting into the sorority house through the windows, through the French doors, which are everywhere. A lot of French doors in this place. And Cameron uses some hairspray and his cigarette to make a flamethrower in the house there. And he's, shooting zombies in the head. And they're still flamethrowing, zombies out on the lawn. Because, zombies are coming. And they get slithery things. Gets to be kind of hairy. The zombies are coming en masse. Somehow they got past the flamethrower. They went around the side of the building. And then she turns into a zombie. The chick from the sofa. The reader. We got us a reader here. And you think she's going to put a slimy thing in his head. And his gun is knocked a little far out of his reach, but he looks up on the wall and he sees the 1959 picture of the girl that he loved, and it gives him the strength to carry on and grab his gun and shoot her in the head and fight.
He just goes crazy,
and he just starts shooting zombies. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Again, she was just made a zombie, so I'm guessing no incubation time.
And he's got one of those 26 shooters, like the guy the
Ginger Dead
Man thing. Yep.
That was an amazing gun.
That was
really
yep.
For a revolver,
holding 27 bullets.
You shoot 20, 22, 23 bullets. That was amazing. I think he had time to reload though.
Yeah, probably.
There's even a shot where it looks like he's going for a reloader in that, because I was going to say the same thing, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He had time to reload here, and he's a cop. He knows how to reload quickly. Now, bad move. They go into the little shed there behind the house where they keep the lawnmowers and stuff. And how are you going to protect yourself from a horde of zombies in a little flimsy shed like that? So even Danny Elfman's like, bad move.
Yeah.
So they're coming. They're, shooting and flamethrowing, and the flamethrower malfunctions a little bit, which we were warned about by Dick Miller earlier on the film. It's a little tricky. Sometimes sometimes it's a little funky. But the old moose guy from the party shows up, and that kind of catches her off guard a little bit. But there's a happy moment between them. That's my little flamethrower girl. And she gives him like quirky little smile. And then he ends up running the lawnmower over Moose or whatever his name is. I don't know what the hell their names are. Good evening, Howitzer. Nice of you to show up, Mr. Williams. Myers. So yeah, he runs the lawnmower over that guy.
Yeah.
This was also done in a movie called Zombies, where they actually showed you the face after the lawnmower went over it, which is kind of nice. I wondered why they didn't do that here. Maybe it was too graphic. Maybe they had to cut it because it was too graphic. He says, going to the next slide, where there's blood all over the sorority walls from him shooting people. The bodies are stacking up around him. So I can't see this slide now.
It's Danny Elfman in his he sees one of the slugs slithering out.
Oh yeah. They see the slugs slithering into the basement.
To the basement, yep.
So we got to go to the basement. So they go through the front door. Yep. More slithery things heading for that basement window.
Yeah. And
they go through the front door and they say, "Look, the formal's over."
For some reason, they changed weapons. He's got the flamethrower now, and she's got the shotgun.
Yeah, and they could do that, because it did malfunction a little bit, so they go running. The girls get out of the house. There's still zombie leeches and stuff in here. We're going down to the basement. They go down to the basement. And inside the basement is Cameron.
Yeah.
And he's got duct tape over his mouth because he doesn't want to get a slimy thing in his mouth. That's smart. I don't know if they can go in your ear, up your butt, or what have you, but at least you covered up that hole, which is the easiest one. So there in one scene, one of the slithery things went up the kid's pants in the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, did it go up his butt? I'm thinking. But they actually go through the whole thing about the thing coming towards his face, and then it goes to black, So we know it went in his mouth.
Yeah.
And if not, hey, one probably went up his butthole. And I'm thinking if it goes up your butthole, it might take a little longer for the incubation.
Well, see, that's why he had time to record the message. That's why he's able to record the message, because, taking his time getting up to his brain.
Yeah, the poop was going up backwards. I don't know.
Ain't no amount of kaopectate going to take care of that.
That paints a pretty picture. Let me get up to this kid's colon. Oh, damn, he's picking up a recorder. So, in case they ever do a sequel to this,
Yep.
They can go into the Blue Oyster Cult. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
So he tells them, get out, because they see a big old stack, because we've gone past like 3 slides, talking about people's butts. There's a big old stack of slimy things down in the basement because there were brains down there, So they've been multiplying, and he's got gas. He's put gas all over the place, and they run out. What's that?
Ryan Reynolds' brother-in-law?
Ryan Reynolds' brother-in-law. Huh. Not sure what that means, but okay. So they're watching outside as he lights the lighter, and of course we get the boom.
Oh, Danny Elfman? Well, not Danny Elfman.
The redhead.
The redhead. This kid here.
Is that really? Is that the truth? Is that his brother-in-law?
Well, that's what Ruby says.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I really like this leading lady. She's one of my favorites. I might have to do a TikTok video about her. Anyway, I just like her look. She's got a really kind of sultry look that I like. And she likes nerds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's Jeff Lively or something. All right.
Blake Lively's brother.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. All right.
Oh, there you go.
All righty.
7 degrees
that's a nice little tidbit there that we learned. It's Ryan Reynolds' brother-in-law. So the light flashes. You know, the he's got one of those Zippo lighters. You know, Zippo lighters are very dependable out in the field. I will tell you that. They smell like gasoline, but you know they're fun. Anyway, okay. So the house blows up. The sorority house blows up, real good. Even though it's just gas. I mean, that looks like C4. I mean, seriously. So they all watch as the house goes up like a trailer park. Sorry.
Like a trailer park in a tornado.
And they're all happy. You know, they finally get their kiss. She puts a black slimy thing in his mouth. I'm sorry. No, I didn't say that. But it's not over yet, because out of the fire walks Cameron, and that is Atkins in makeup. I mean, it's very clearly Tom Atkins in makeup there, and he's still got a cigarette hanging off his lip, which I love.
Yeah.
You know, that thing isn't ashes yet. I mean, he must have lit a cigarette in that condition after he got out of the house. And he falls and his head splits open. Real fast incubation period. Real fast.
Yeah.
Like seconds. So I have a little issue with that. That was pretty fast.
Well, he was in a room full of them, so who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
But he was looking mighty Freddy Krueger there for a minute.
So, yeah. He was crispy. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
And slimy things fall out. And some of them go under a gate that we got to make this quick. It's 3 minutes. Go under a gate, which is a cemetery. What a great place for zombies, right?
Yeah.
And then the camera pans up, and you think that's going to be it. That's going to be it. And then we get a light, which looks like a helicopter light, but no, it's a spaceship.
Yep.
So they have really set themselves up for a sequel.
Jason Lively.
Jason Lively. Wow. Who looks like Danny Elfman. He plays Chris. All right. I'm out of peach tea. So,
all right.
You know,
whenever we're out of peach tea, that's when the show ends. It just ends whenever the general's out of peach tea. There's no more noises.
There's no pits left. So I hope you all enjoyed this training film. Remember, if you see black slithery things moving very fast,
get it with fire.
Flamethrower. My favorite weapon of choice is flamethrower. You know that. So, and if you go back to that slide of Cameron and when he's all charred up at the end, a face that only a mother can love. I got it in this time. There he is. A face that only a mother can love.
There we go.
I should have said it when Douchey McDouchebag's head got blown up. But anyway.
That's right. That's right. And we got to tell everybody that right now is no icing. No icing with Ralphie. We're going to be seeing Ralphie.
And keep an eye out for those black slithery things.